Especially while we all know the truth that our world is crashing all around us, and there's little we can do to stop it, right? Other than get our act together
Yes.
and be prepared to leave. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In saying that, yeah, the reason why I couldn't leave the cats outside is because there's frost out there and it's colder than the -2 that they forecast on mainstream.
Okay.
Yeah. I do have a question. Does it?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Okay. Okay. Prepared. That means you're beside yourself. There's a pair of you, or what? Prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's me and there's Ninja.
Okay.
Right next to me, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please excuse my. I'm not very good with words at the moment. Well, as usual, because it's like 5:30 a.m. But anyway, I do have a question. When you were talking about if we don't make it on this world before it ends, we could. It's possible we could start again on another world because this world is done. Does that mean that this physical reality actually doesn't end? It's on a constant cycle.
What's that last question? Give me the last part. What was that? The last part?
It's on a constant cycle.
Well. The cycle is the serpent. The cycle is the.
Everybody eventually get to go home.
Well, no, because the divine love is such that it allows for people to have opportunity to go back home. But as we know with the fallen watchers, and we'll pick up the rest of the story, of course, tomorrow, is that they sold out their birthright, so they'll never go back home. And
Yeah, but the innocent, like, will they just keep?
Well, the
trying
innocent,
over
the
and over in this physical reality?
the darkness dominates, okay? And so as it says that many seek to enter in, but only few will be saved. So in the harvest, in this great harvest that began, well, there has always been a harvest here, but when Yeshua was here, he says, behold, the fields are ripe for harvesting. Pray to the owner of the harvest that he will bring forth more reapers. So officially, the harvest began when Yeshua came to earth, and that's when and then officially when they all received the Spirit at the 50th day, aka Pentecost, when the 120 of them received the Spirit officially for the first time, and then they officially began the new golden age of light and the harvest of enlightenment. But there's only few in comparison to the number of people on earth that are saved. So it's only a few. It's like if you look at the coral reefs in the ocean, or when the fish give birth, what do we see? That most of the seed and most of the baby fish get eaten, right? But then it's a few that make it, right? You've seen those documentaries, right, where it shows how many get consumed while they're in their growth phase, and then then ultimately, so millions are just like with the oak tree. The oak tree every year brings forth let's say 1 million acorns, drops them on the ground, but none of them grow, and it does it every year. For 20 years, 25 years, and then finally one of those acorns will sprout and bring forth a tree. And the same when men and women procreate. The man, expends his semen, and then within that, only one sporum out of several million, and that's maybe after they've had intercourse 100 times. Okay, maybe they had intercourse 100 times, and then only once in all of those events does one sporum out of the several million in that one moment that make it up the birth canal within all those acidic enzymes dissolving, fighting against it, and then it makes it to the egg and gets inside. So literally, nature teaches us that millions fall along the wayside so that just a few can be made. So we look at dirt, how much dirt is there? But there's only a little bit of gold, a little bit, and he's here for the gold. And so he's here for a perfect seed. He's here to bring forth a perfect creation. Those who want to live in perfection of nature, as nature is perfect itself. We were the end product of creation, but man, as we see in his pathetic state, is in the delusions of the fall and having a party and then thinks he's going to go somewhere. And he's only fooling himself because he's not fooling the great spirit of life. So it's the irony of nature. So the good news is that the universe itself, the cavity of this cosmos, the great ocean, is perpetually bringing forth new stars, new horizons, that there can be other forms of life. I'm not saying that we travel from one planet to another. I say it's an impossibility. We're all isolated on our own garden, and we're in a bubble, and because we know the Van Allen radiation belt is real, so we're all stuck here. But our spirit, after it passes the event horizon of our death, if we did not transcend according to the spiritual tradition of being a second born, and we are not born again, we did not come out of the grave, Lazarus come forth, then the beauty of the divine love is that certainly our spirit, somewhere in another place and time, will have the ability to transcend again. And if we were at least good and halfway decent, then the divine love, the law of nature, would be in our favor to help us to make it through the next phase, to hopefully make it back. But if we were one of those psychopaths, one of those sellouts, members of the secret societies that took a blood oath to destroy our world, the proverbial Indra, that the Shiva, the creator and the destroyer, standing on the baby, then they will get a worse handout on the next time around. They'll probably come back retarded, or as one of those abused children themselves, that they abuse. So all of the ancients knew reincarnation was the philosophy. They didn't talk about hell and damnation and torture, infinite torture for all time. That comes through Babylon and the Vatican. It was always about the ability to, the divine love would allow for us to come back and try again. The only corruption of that philosophy was, like with Buddhism, they said you would have to come back thousands of times. And that I don't think is true. It's just that, if you don't make it this time and you've worked hard, but you failed to meet your test, whatever that means, then the divine love will be in your favor next time around, and hopefully the next time you would make it. I'm not making a provision for failure on this round because I don't ever want to come back, and so I have full determination of fulfilling my destiny within the spiritual calling of enlightenment and surrender and perfecting the self. Okay, so it's a work, it's a walk, it's a wake up, and it's a whack in the head. But we can do it, Ninja, and we're having an experience here with everybody coming on. I'm inspired, I'm motivated because I finally have people after all these years that get it. It took me over 40 years to be able to say it, to talk about what I was saying, to give the answers to the missing pieces of the words, because I only had parts of them through this process. Much has come on the table in the last 5 years, in the last year, in the last 6 months. Okay, it's a continual unfolding, but now I can say it, unlike anybody else saying it out there, and I'm sorry for the world because of that, because I realize how significant this original thought and what I'm dealing with here is. Okay, it's amazing. That shows you how rare it is. Yeah. How? Yeah. Yeah, and you did a great job. Thank you. And I just want to say, so like the scripture, says, how can people transcend if they can't hear? How can people hear if there's no true message? How can people know the truth if there is no truth? That's the problem. They're in the lies of deception, and so they don't even have the hope. They don't even have a chance at making it when the deception is so great, as it says, the beast system deceived the entire world. That's Revelations. Well, what kind of a number is the entire world? That sounds like everybody, right? The entire world deceived. That's quite a deception. So it's a rare thing to break through this. It's a rare event we're having right here. It's a rare thing that the Father has done to me. I am not worthy of it, nor did I choose this path, but He put me at 98 right place. And 1998 was the year I fell victim to a government sting operation when I was going to come to the next level of my own awareness and what my mission on earth was really all about. So He did it. I didn't do it. And He did it because He loves all of you and He loves everybody else in the world as well, but only a few are going to get it. And that's why I'm very happy to have my six pack of enlightened friends that are waking up to the reality here. And there's number 7, perfection. It's okay. It's all right. It's not meant for the many. It's meant for the few, you see.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
But yeah, like I understand that, like the innocence of this, the innocent people of this world that are searching for truth and don't know where to look. Yeah, the ones that don't make it here will have another chance somewhere else, and that's what made me think: is that a constant cycle? Like, will the physical universe eventually come to an end? Will it all eventually dissolve?
Well,
or does it just keep
okay.
going on a cycle?
Well, what my point was earlier was that the universe is like a house, and so the stars and planets and the moons have temporary existence, but the universe is continually giving birth to new stars. So there's always new evolution of new stars, and therefore the universe potentially can go on infinitely by the grace of the Great Father, who continues planting seeds, which are stars. Those are the seeds. Okay? Like a man is planting his seed in a woman, the Great Father of Light is planting his seed in the mother, Aphrodite, the dark woman, because the first woman is the darkness itself. It is the cavity of the universe. That's the first woman, you see. And so he's continually planting his seed, so it could go on infinitely from that standpoint. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. But a star, a star that has a beginning, the seed, ultimately has an ending. So that our sun in our solar system one day will end, although it seems to be perpetually maintained by the center of our galaxy, by what we call a black hole, but which is really pure energy. It is as vast as the solar system itself, or the galaxy itself. Excuse me. So it's sending out its energy to all the stars that are in the flat line, like a pancake. They're all receiving the energy, and so it's really a great mystery. But yet we know that anything that has a beginning has an ending. But yet the cavity of the universe itself could be perpetually giving birth to stars, and so therefore those who are lost in this realm of darkness and don't transcend, no doubt there will. If there's life on this planet, nature is telling us that there is duplication throughout the universe. So there is likely hundreds of other planets out there with life on them, just like us. Same story, another Adam and Eve, still going on. Same symbols, just a little different in features. Always different. The infinite qualities and differences within nature, even within our own human race, because there's only one race. They got us divided again with black and white and yellow and all that, but it's really only one race. And the Aryan race was no better. They only had one advantage. They had a knowledge that was endowed for them for the special purpose of serving mankind, but instead it became a self-serving instrument for a culture, but it was meant to be. In other words, it didn't happen by accident. Yahweh knew that they were going to sell out and that they were going to then want to conquer the world, because what it did is it created a new type of society that was using agriculture to feed many, where the primitives went harvesting from nature and hunting and gathering. The Aryans introduced agriculture, then they introduced metallurgy, then they introduced stone cutting, then they introduced with the metallurgy anti-gravity and the great Vimanas. So they brought us the age of the proverbial age of the Atlantean ideal, which was a greater type of society, where today the result of our iPhones and our computers and our skyscrapers and everything we use is a result of the knowledge that was breathed into Adam from the beginning. That was breathed into him. That knowledge, the mathematics, the ability, the knowledge of all things in creation. They inherited that legacy. We have been denied it, and enslaved by it while they run it from behind the scenes, the few who they are, wherever they are, and I talk about that, of course. I do identify those places and their priesthood, and all that. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Thank you, Desert. That was amazing. That was a program in itself. This is phone call.
Ah, great. Well, we couldn't have done it without you, Ninja. And my head is spinning. I think I'm ready to watch Dane Wigington and to sit back and have dinner.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've been on an egg roll for about 3 hours.
Been waiting for a deprogramming fix for. Yeah, it's been a tough week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And
you engineer, thank you.
And when are we on with Ninja Cat 111 now? Give out the times.
Mondays and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, US, which is Mondays and Fridays, midnight, Eastern Standard Time, Aussie time.
In Australia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So please join.
All right. So thank you for calling in and for being there, and we'll be on tomorrow at 12 noon again on Forbidden History Live. Yeah. Mm-hmm.